This week, we saw major drama involving high school students sucking on toes for a fundraising event. You heard that right. We found out how much money the man behind the whole Wonka disaster event made. Something strange is happening with the world's royals and leaders. We found out what happens when you try and steal a Cybertruck. And what people are doing on Instagram right now is shameful. All of that and more, so let's get cracking. Okay, let's start with this. Yeah, that's a tough listen. And I'm not gonna lie, if I was one of those players there, I don't know if I could hold in my expression of surprise, especially when she hits some of the high notes like these. And this went on for a full 2 minutes. You know how long 2 minutes feels in situations like these? Now here's the thing, I am not here to make fun of her because she's 8. What kind of man would I be? And I pray to God she does not have social media, or she's not allowed on it entirely. Because this video has gone worldwide, and on one page alone, it got 25 million views and over 100,000 people commenting. And they are bad. They are very bad. But what I am here to do is say, what the fuck to our parents? I mean, who allowed her to do this? And then furthermore, put it online. Look, I get that America's all about, like, you can do anything and never listen to the naysayers. But this is objectively, like, we can all collectively see this and be like, that's wild. I mean, I was honestly so confused that I had to look her up, and then I found that her dad has his own YouTube channel, and he's been getting her to sing the same national anthem, hasn't changed, at sports games for literally years. And I mean, as you can see from his channel, he's been getting her in bigger and bigger venues ever since she was around 4 or 5. And you want to know the craziest part? Is that making a fuckload of noise? Okay, right, that's better. I can move without it being fucking scratchy. Right. And you want to know the craziest part? You'd think that after the global negative reaction to her most recent performance, her dad would maybe recognize and be like, okay, maybe let's change things and perhaps protect her from all of the trolls. Absolutely not. Since this most recent performance, which was only 4 days ago, she has done 2 more. Bro is literally on tour right now. And here's the thing, if the only feedback that she was getting was in person, I'd be like, okay, fair enough, because what kind of psycho would look a little girl like that in the eyes and say, you're shit? Not saying that she is, I'm just saying as an example, but I'm kind of, but like not that harshly. So in person, fine, okay. But if she ever goes online, even if it's like a year or so in the future, and she sees what people are saying about her, it's not going to be a good day. But what I will say is that, you know, let's recognize there has been improvements. I'm sure her parents must know what they're doing, and I wish her all the success in the world. Honestly, I do. Let's move on. But we're not moving on too far, because our next story remains with kids doing wild shit and their parents letting them. This time, it's toe sucking for charity. A high school in Oklahoma is getting a major backlash this week after videos emerged of students taking part in a toe-sucking challenge for a fundraising event. The other students even watched on and shouted, "He is devouring them!" Now, the event was to raise money for people with intellectual development and physical disabilities, but after the video went viral and people started falsely claiming that those toes belonged to adults and teachers, as you'd imagine, people were furious. The school district was then forced to clarify that no members of faculty were involved in any of the challenges. All of the students who participated volunteered to do so. And then they dropped this. They said it raised $152,000. Woo! And on that note, I would like to announce that I too am starting the News Daddy toe sucking No, Alex, cut it. Okay, no, I'm not starting that. Don't even, I see one fucking comment. That was a joke, and Alex, I'm sure he's cut that out. That was a joke, and Alex, I'm sure he's cut that out. Okay, but on a real one, jokes aside, it is a bit strange that teachers and faculty member even allowed this kind of peculiar challenge. But at the same time, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people online are way over sensationalizing this. And weirdly, a lot of people in my comments are trying to push this false information. Like, why would you, that adults were involved? And I mean, I think this video says a lot more about the viewer, because when I first watched this, I thought, yeah, okay, it's disgusting. But when I started reading some of the comments, I started realizing that people were trying to make this about the other thing, the thing I can't even say on here. I hope you get what I mean. You're the one that's down bad. Moving on. Okay, let's talk about what the hell is happening to the world's royals and leaders, because in just 2 months, King Charles has been diagnosed with cancer. Kate Middleton has had abdominal surgery and is not been seen since December. Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, was diagnosed with skin cancer. Prince Edward, King Charles's brother, needed to take a short break from his royal duties. Thomas Kingston, who married into the British royal family, died suddenly at only 45. Then we hear that an autopsy said that the cause of death was a traumatic head wound and a gun was found near him. It's worth mentioning that the death is not being investigated as suspicious. The King of Norway was rushed to hospital with infection. The Queen of Denmark announced a shock abdication. The President of Ireland was rushed to hospital 2 days ago. And the Pope was also rushed to hospital while a group of priests were caught joking about him dying on their YouTube channel. Priests with YouTube channel before GTA 6. Is wild. Is this just a sign that the world's leaders are getting old? Or is 2024 about to be a rough year? Moving on. Speaking of a rough bloody year, it literally looks like hell arrived in Texas this week. Urgent evacuations are still underway in multiple towns after massive fires made worse by strong winds ignited on Monday and exploded in size on Tuesday, tearing across and burning 1.1 million acres of the state so far. And I say so far because at the time of recording, it's only 15% contained. 1.1 million acres. That's almost 3 times the size of London in under a week. Burnt. Videos from Texas show enormous smoke clouds stretching as far as the eye can see. Firefighters driving through a literal inferno and dodging firenadoes, if that's what we call them. Homes have been burnt in almost every direction. Thousands are without power. Families have been forced to flee to shelters. And just one of the blazes, the Smokehouse Creek fire, has burnt more land this week than all of the state's fires in 2023 combined. And it is now the largest on record. All that shit's happening right now. The fires are currently not under control, and authorities are now even warning that they could get worse in the coming days because strong winds are on the forecast. Wow. Moving on. Also this week, I went on the search for this man. You see, 5 years ago, this MIT student created a device that allows you to have the entire internet in your mind, but today, he is nowhere to be found. A year before Neuralink was even founded, Arnav Kapoor was building a non-invasive wearable device that essentially acts as Google for your brain. In an interview he did with 60 Minutes, for example, he was asked what was the largest city in Bulgaria and what its population was. He then silently asked the computer, and then here's the answer through vibrations transmitted through his skull and into his inner ear.
Sophia, 1.21 million?
That is correct.
This device went on to be a sensation. He was invited to do a TED Talk, dozens of interviews, and it even won awards at MIT. But the strange thing about all of this is that despite this happening 5 years ago, and arguably the fastest 5 years for growth with AI tech, the device, Alter Ego, or Arnav are nowhere to be found. He isn't active on Twitter, Instagram, or LinkedIn, and the most recent interview that I could find was about a month ago, but it doesn't include any information about where he is or where his device is now. However, in the meantime, we have Neuralink that has been FDA approved, successfully implanted into the first human patient, and they are now able to control a computer mouse with their mind. I reached out to him via email and asked him why his device never progressed, but we are here about 4 or 5 days later and there's still no reply. People in the comments were saying that it could be something as simple as he ran into technical complications that made the device unscalable, but others were saying that other competing tech companies could have just bought him out and got him to sign an NDA, because that shit sadly does happen. Either way, I'll keep trying to get in contact with the man, the mystery, the legend. Moving on. Okay, this week we also got the first documented case of an attempted robbery on a Cybertruck, And it didn't end well for the robbers. As you can see, a car pulls up beside the Cybertruck and a guy gets out and he starts hitting the window with a window breaker, which if you aren't familiar with these items, it's usually as easy as this. But after the Cybertruck's armored glass doesn't break, he jumps onto the roof and he starts trying to smash through there. But when that doesn't work either, he has to give up. But in the process, not only does the car's sentry mode capture his dusty cheeks and his face too, I'll just pause that there. But the person who posted the video says that the Cybertruck is now California-proof. What a beast. Moving on. Okay, I think it's high time we talk about this whole situation. Now, I'm sure at this point, everyone knows the bare details, so I'm not gonna rehash all of that shit because I've got some new stuff that has come out since then. And if somehow you don't know, it's as simple as this is what was advertised and this is what people turned up to. And instead of enough sweets to build a fortress of sugar like they promised on their Facebook, actors had to ration giving 3 singular jelly beans to children. I mean, look, you can even see her counting them. And a quarter cup lemonade. I mean, look, if you are a person that sees posters for an event that is entertaining with cartoons and sweet treats, and you still turn up, my lord, that's on you. Now, since all of this, the character, the unknown, has become the internet's honestly most loved thing out of this whole situation. I'm pretty sure there's even a petition to get it its own movie or some shit. According to the actors, the character was made up by AI and it was supposed to be an evil chocolate maker that lived in the walls of the factory. And yes, those are the walls. And also, there's no surprise, but the event organizer, Billy Cole, which, fun fact, same first name as the Fire Festival guy. Coincidence. He has had his life turned upside down. I think there's one thing of just, like committing a crime or doing some dodgy shit like he has, but then there's doing it when everyone is very interested, including journalists, which, boy, can journalists turn your life upside down. They have found out every detail about him, which we will get to. But he managed to sell 850 tickets to this thing, which works out at around £30,000. Now, to be fair, he has promised to refund all of that money, but as of right now, people still claim that he hasn't. Now, speaking of those journalists, they found that this isn't the first time that Billy has tried to hustle using AI, because Billy is also an author. He has published 17 ChatGPT written novels on Amazon in 2023 alone. God damn, that's actually... This bro found ChatGPT and he's like, that's it, we're going. His website also consists of more AI-generated images and AI descriptions of future events. And saying that, I'm not gonna lie, if he does decide to do another one, do you know how many people would actually want to turn up for the purposes of it being shit? And because people would want it to be shit, he wouldn't even have to worry about actually doing it properly. Honestly, it's a win-win for him. Okay, and one more thing before I move on, and woo! For everyone that watched last week's video, it's time to tell you exactly what I mean. Remember my passion-filled rant about all of these skits that were not really skits, but just people lying? Well, this is exactly what I'm talking about.
And I am the actor who played the unknown.
I was the unknown.
I was quite famously the unknown.
I was the actor who was hired to play the unknown.
I'm Radio Rebel.
No idea what that last one was, but I feel like that was out of proportion, passion-filled for what I was talking about. You'd have to watch last week to understand. Move on, because our last story... Whew, let's talk about Instagram, because what people are doing on there is wrong, and the people are wrong, and let me show you. This is not a laughing matter. If you have been on Instagram Reels over the last few months, you would have come across a person with a disability or someone that looks perhaps a little bit different. And as soon as you come across that video, you look to the comments and you think, should I click on that? Because I know there's going to be a lot of comments. And when you do, you realize it is carnage. And you know what? What's wild at this bloody point, for me to even be making this video, it has become a known thing about Reels at this point. This meme, for example, saying Instagram's algorithm summoning Reels of disabled people for the worst possible audience got 600k likes. And you know how many people watch that shit without even liking it? I don't even know. And then the top comment of that video is, I'm that audience. Now, to prepare for this story, I am not kidding. I literally scrolled for 5 minutes on Reels. And this is what I found. Okay, now, reminder before you watch these. I'm only doing this for research and educational purposes only, okay? It's not funny.
Let's go. Oh my God.
Let's start again. Let's start again.
Let's go. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I can't. Let's continue. Okay, top comment. I want to see his x-ray. Disgusting. Video 2 of my research demonstration. Okay, right. Let's see what the top comment is. He switched expressions to the same expression. Horrible. This one is the worst. Okay.
Which guy do you like better? The positive guy? Yay, I like that. Yay, let's go. Hey, good to see you again. Or the negative guy. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like that. I don't like this. Yeah. The negative guy. No, I like the positive guy. Don't you better?
Top comment is spitting facts. No, just spitting. Yes. That's enough, okay? That's enough. Shame on you and your ancestors. And if you're thinking, right, if those kind of videos went up on any other social media platform, the comments would be exactly the same. No. You're wrong. I'm just gonna play this for a few seconds so you get the idea of what I'm talking about.
Welcome to a day in the life of a 29-year-old small business owner who makes coffee for a living. It's our first full day in the city, and I am excited to go see what it has in store. But first, we gotta do a little bit of work and some editing so I can submit some videos. Once that's done, we're gonna take the elevator all the way down from the 25th floor.
So this video is, just our day in the life, and
Which
it's
guy do you like
what?
better?
It's stop coming up on my nothing to hate. It's good. Regular, heartfelt, good video. Nothing hate-worthy. But then, you wanna hear some of the comments that are on this? They said, what's your small business? Selling disappointment? Heavy Potter. First to hate. Hate from the Nickelback fan club. Hate from tomorrow. Everyone stop hating. Without me. Hate from Epstein Island. Sending hate from the UK. Hate from the Hockey Association. I have an Amish friend that doesn't have electricity or phones or internet. He told me he wanted you to know that he hates you. Can't sleep because of my hate-somnia. Hate from St. Jude's Children's Hospital. I can't even. Hello from California. Do not come here. Hate from NATO. From Boston. Stay away. Don't listen to the supporters. Hate from the multiverse. So you get the point of that. But then you go into the same videos over on TikTok, for example. You'll stop on this woman. She's the happiest person I've ever seen. Go on, ma'am. Welcome to the day in the life of a huge coffee maker. Good roast. The coffee looks great. Sending love and good vibes. Love your content. Such a beautiful person. Bro, I love her so much. No hate from Brooklyn. Love from Guatemala. You're a beautiful person. Keep the ray of sunshine that you are. That's the same videos. I mean, I've literally had this happen to me once before. So I posted a video where my girlfriend challenged me that I couldn't wear a item of her clothing to a red carpet event that we were supposed to go to that day. And this is the time where I shaved my head for 10 million. So I was like, okay, a cropped leather jacket would go hard. And so here's a perspective of what the comments were like on my TikTok. Tyler Durden with fashion. Bro, how is that actually fire? Nah, that actually goes hard with the buzz cut. She's a lucky woman to have you, Dylan. Referring to my girlfriend. Super nice, right? And those are the most liked. But when I posted this picture on Instagram, all I got was gay emoji gifs. Your head shape is not for this haircut. Never in my life did I think that I would read a comment about the shape of my head.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I mean, honestly, only on Instagram can the hate get so creative that actually turns funny. You don't understand. Instagram comments are so negative that even when people like the content creator, they love them, they first start with hate. Let me read you some of Big Red's comments, and this is probably the internet's most loved kid. I really hate this kid. And then he replies to his own message, because he ain't one of my homeboys. It's like the only thing that gets put to the top is hate. This kid isn't funny anymore. He's fucking hilarious. I despise this kid with my entire being because I'll never come close to his level of humor. Oh, it's like if you're not hating on Instagram, they don't even want to see it in the comments. And I think this is where I'm gonna end the video, but with love. I love you guys, and thank you for watching yet another week. I'll be right back here next Monday, so I'll catch you then. Boom! Explosions! Massive explosions! Explosions everywhere! You can't even see me because Alex has put so many explosions! That shit is crazy. And then... See you next week.